Right guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio. Today we've got Ollie in the chair. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing good, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks mate, very well.
Yeah.
So what are we doing today? What's the plan?
Just trying to get basically a whole transformation.
Oh right, okay.
I'm trying to go for like a low taper, but keeping the top long, maybe messy, something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Have you got any reference photos of this?
I do, yes.
Let's have a little look then.
Like that at the back maybe, but obviously keeping it messy. Yeah, something like that, maybe not with like the quiff or the thing on the top. I don't really want it on me. You don't
want the fringe being so heavy. Okay.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Okay.
Something
that's quite similar to that one.
Yeah.
You know. Do you want to have like versatility to the top? Do you want it to be able to like be up or down or like quite messy?
I could do, yeah.
Okay.
Anything really.
Okay. What's your hair like when it's shorter? Do you have a wave in it?
I've not had my shirt short for a while.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just looking where the curl starts here. It starts quite close to the root, so I'd imagine you probably would have a little bit of wave in the top,
fine.
You know? In terms of the kind of shape though, obviously what you've shown me there, 3 photos all look quite identical, but you said you didn't want a fringe. What would you like to do with the fringe in place of that?
Actually, to be honest, I don't know. I'd want it maybe... It'd be short, but like not like on the eyebrows.
Oh, so it's more the length of the fringe you were bothered about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then do you still want to wear the fringe down?
Can do, yeah.
Do you want options? Do you want options with it?
I could have options, yes.
Okay, cool. Let's have a look at your face shape then.
Okay.
Just seeing if a fringe would work. Your hairline. Yeah, I think a fringe would work. In terms of like your face shape and stuff, yeah, I think you'll definitely suit that. The only concern I've got though is how short you want the taper to be. Because you've got a very diamond face shape. You've got a very prominent cheekbones here through where the jaw starts at the top of here. And that does concave quite a lot. Can you see where my index finger is to my middle finger? How much bend there is on my middle finger? Now the only problem with that is when you do a taper very short, it goes in, then out, and then out again at the bottom through here. So it could make your face look wide. It might not necessarily be the best haircut for your face shape, just so you know.
Right, okay.
But we can still add a taper in there. It just depends how short you want to go with that taper. Like, what was the sort of length you wanted to go to with the taper? Did you want it to be like skin? Did you want to still have hair showing?
Maybe have some hair showing, not like skin, but it'd be still short enough, but you could still see the hair, but with like being layered down.
Because the ones you've shown me there are all skin. Or not all of them. The guy, the first photograph you showed me was probably a bit, probably more like a 1 or a 0.5, but his hair was darker than yours. So the shorter you go on yours, the better. We could get like a 1 on the sides of yours and it would look a lot shorter than his would because of the colour of your hair, right? And because you've got a bit of wave in it, it's a little bit more sparse around here anyway.
It's probably the sharpness, because I want it to bring my jawline out.
Okay.
So we can go skin. Yeah, we can definitely go skin.
You want to bring your jawline out? Don't do skin.
So it'd be like a natural.
I would say so, because what you've got to look at, right, when we're doing face shape, it's probably good for the camera as well, right? When we're doing face shape, right, this is how your hair needs to be cut from that angle, right, from the cheekbone. That's going to bring your jawline out. Because look at the angle we're at, right? It's coming down prominently to the jawline.
Yeah.
Now, if we put a taper in, it's going to do that, and that's going to bring your jawline out. That's not going to actually expose your jawline at all. That's going to make your face wider. I would probably do the shortest I would go for you is probably like a 1. Or a 1.5, just something that isn't going to be so dramatic, because it's 3 millimeters of the 1, right? But that's enough just to take away that concave. Whereas if it's total skin, you're going to see the concave massively, and I don't know whether it's going to work well for your face shape, especially what you're after. If you said you want to bring your jawline out, you only want to see sharpness and curve on the jawline when you're doing, like, say, what we class as a masculine haircut, right?
Yeah.
And you do that by looking at the comb. The comb shows you where the angles need to be. You see what I mean? So if you want your jawline to be prominent and lean, that's the angle you need your haircut at. If you don't want it to be, you do that. And as you can see, it just brings out, it widens the face, and it'll probably widen down here as well. The neckline, we can do skin. Because the neckline doesn't really matter too much. It's more here that is about face shape. The back of the head is, we control the shape of the back of the head. So the profile shot is what I can control. So down here, we can do skin. I just wouldn't do skin on the side bits. Have like a 1 here, but have a skin taper at the bottom.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that all right? Yeah. All right,
good,
cool, sweet. I think lengthwise around the edges, then I'd probably say like a 3 or something like that in a guard, because then that way it's enough of a difference of the taper. You know what I mean? And I think it's short enough for what you want to go for as well. On the top though, okay, so back and sides are sorted. We're done with that.
Sides,
On the top now, we cut the fringe to that length, so we'll use that as our guide. And then what I'll do is I'll uniform and balance everything else out and then put loads of texture in. So then that way you've got complete choice of what you want to wear the top like.
Cool.
If you want to wear it down, you can. If you want to wear it up, you can. If you want to diffuse it, we can. I think that'll probably be good for you. I think there's something with being able to like kind of change it up a little bit will probably be good from going from such a long haircut to short.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to be limited to one hairstyle because you might get bored of it quite quickly. So I think if you've got a little bit of versatility through it, I think it'll really help.
Okay.
Sound good, yeah?
That's all good. Yeah.
Sure you want to do this?
Sound, yeah.
100%?
All good.
All right, cool. Yeah. Is he sure he wants to do this? All right, cool, man. It's going to be very different.
That's fine.
But as long as you're ready for the change.
Ready for it. Yeah.
All right, sweet. How long have you had your hair long?
Let's say about 6-7 years.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
I'd say probably like my secondary school like mates, they've never seen me with short hair at all. They stuck with it because I was like, this is my haircut. Like I want this as my haircut.
Okay, okay. So what's brought on the change?
Just a necessary need in life. Just a sort of change of scenery, yeah.
I like it, man. Sweet, man. Well, let's get this shampooed and conditioned, blank canvas it, and then we'll get started. I'll probably cut the top down first. Okay. And then blend it into the sides. Yeah. All right. Cool, man. Cool. So I just finished shampooing and conditioning Ollie's hair. So I'm going to start with a profile section, right? So this is a really, really good way. More than just guessing the length, I think we get the length perfect the first time round. So it can be quite difficult to sort of work out exactly where to start when you've got something like this on a transformation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to really simplify it, okay? Now, Ollie's already given us an idea of the length he wants his fringe to be. So he said about sort of like here. He doesn't want it on the eyebrows. That's one thing he said, doesn't want it on the eyebrows. So we don't want to aim towards keeping it longer. If anything, we want to go a bit shorter. So we've got to remember, with his hair being wavy, it doesn't look like it now, but with his hair having a slight wave, that might kink. So this is the unknown for me right now, because Ollie doesn't know what his hair like was when it was shorter. You've had it long for like 7 or 8 years, you said, yeah? So he's not going to remember that. And he's only 18, so he's probably not going to remember that. So what we've got to remember, that's going to kink up when we cut that instantly, right? So we need to probably cut it to about just before the eyebrows for that to sit up nicely to sort of midway across the forehead, so just past halfway in the forehead. So we'll probably cut it to about here for that to kick up to there, all right? So the best way I do this is I do a T-section to start with, straight down the middle, like so, down the middle. And the separator, where the flatness at the back is, just through here, is I take my section just before the round, where it's flat there. So I take my section just above that. And that allows me to maintain some shape at the crown. So I do that first, get my T-section in, right? And then I'll cut in a profile guide. So this is a guide that's going to help me to cut the rest of the top in. T-section in, so I can basically separate the crown away. My finger in the middle part, and either side of my finger I take the section, okay? Just here, and work all the way down. So separating this out, and work all the way down to the foot, like so. On one side of the center, there's one, and another one just the other side of it, just straight down, like so. Comb that out. That's the first cut now. You ready for this, Ollie?
I'm ready.
So from basically just before the recession point on Ollie's hair, we take this section, and we bring this all the way out. I'll bring this down to where our fringe will be. Okay, so our fringe is going to sit just above the eyebrows, right? So our first cut needs to fall there. So we can bring that down, and we see where the length needs to be, okay? And I'm going to start at about there, because that's going to drop just at the eyebrows. Ready? No. Yeah, that's very limited. Right? As we drop that down, it's going to fall just on the eyebrows, okay? So that's the first bit. I'm thinking, oh, maybe I go a bit short with that. So I might go a tiny bit shorter. Tiny little bit. That's going to fall there. Now what I can do, I can start to fix that as we get through the haircut. Now all we do, we use this guide, we lift it up, pick up from the bit which falls first, and we cut straight across, like so. So there's the length that we can take the top down to now. That's our guide. Use this as our guide now for the rest of the hair on the top. Pick that up, take that down. And cut away. Now all this does, this gives us our guideline. Take that right back to the T-section, through there, like so. Right, so there's our first section cut through. I'm going to cross-check that just to make sure I've got that right. No little bits left longer. Because we have gone from long to short, so I'll make sure that's right. There we go. So that is our first section cut in. So as you can see, as that falls forwards, it sits just on the eyebrows, and I can actually layer that in myself. Okay? Starting from this side here, you've already got a section straight down the middle. We take a finger width section again. Again, we're going short, so smaller sections. From the back, we have our guide from the left-hand side, right there. Now we can point cut into this now. So we put our guide in, and how we follow the length on the top. So just keep them a finger width section. If we keep a length on the top, we go for 2 fingers. And if we're maintaining and just trying to thin it out and texturize, we do 3 fingers.
You just sort the case out?
Yeah, we sort the case out and advise the social workers what to do here, the next legal steps, something like that.
So Ollie, have you told any of your friends what you're doing?
I have actually, yeah.
Have you?
I can't believe it. Can't believe it.
I'm sure they'll love it though, mate. I'm sure they'll love it.
They're going to call me the new me.
The new me.
The new me.
That's cool though, man. It's nice for a change though. So just tell me, have you got any styling products at home or anything like that at all?
I have like curling cream and like salt spray, sea salt spray. You know.
Okay. 2 good products to start off with at least anyway. Have you got any actual sort of styling though? Like the finished ones like pastes, clays, creams, anything like that?
No.
Okay, okay. So I'll probably need to give you some guidance on that and how to style it because I'm guessing you've never styled your hair short. So I'll need to guide you on that, okay? So I'll talk you through all that at the end when we're done. But honestly, right, it's going to be very easy. Put that up. There we go. I'm just using the guide from behind, the guide from the left-hand side as well. So we pull the fringe back to the recession point. So we maintain length through there. So we take a finger width section from past the recession, pull that out, nice straight angle, and we cut. Now I'm not doing it on an angle which is going to be too far over because the taper is going to create that for us. This is just a nice square angle. The taper is the thing that's going to create that more harsher angle like that. Pick it up using the guide from the top and through the guide as well, through the section there. We cut nice and straight. Like so. So what this is doing, this is starting to create a nice face shape, working with the head shape, and it's also giving me a guide for when I'm going to start with my clipper work as well. So while I'm on this side now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to level the fringe. Just cut that up a touch as well when that dries. Back to this side again, we take the section that was finger width from the other side, and this is our guide for cutting in the left hand side as well. Finger width away from where the recession is.
Where did you go?
We follow the angle as well.
How did you get that? With going out? So where are your mum and dad originally from?
They came in the 70s, migrated.
Okay.
And then parts of India.
Cook you something.
Yeah, it's Indian, I'm vegetarian, so
I'm vegan as well.
yeah.
Plant-based. So that's why I asked, because I love Indian food. Cheese up.
Back to the recession point,
Yeah, so that's good to
and use our guide at the top there.
Yeah, I
Right
don't
there.
have no dairy.
Now I'm cutting this club cut, straight cut. Here we go. Guide from the top, guide through the section there.
Really?
Nice straight angle with my fingers as well.
Which is like one of my favourite.
I would be vegetarian, not vegan. They were like displaced of refugees. That time,
That's matching both sides.
it was legal with the UK opened up.
There's the top, right? So what we'll do at the top, we're going to texturize it, thin it out, add some movement to it, fix all the length. Once it's all dry, we'll work out the fringe length, and we'll go from there. But while we're here, I'm going to start adding some texture to this now as well. Just lift it up and slide through like that. So what this will do is add lift to the hair, but also collapse to the hair at the same time. Starting from the root now, working up from the root, working up to the mid-lengths. So that way we're giving them versatility, allowing them to stick it up if he wants, put it down if he wants as well. So it's going to help break up that natural centre part that he had going on, because obviously his hair will have been trained to sort of fall in the centre part because of how long it was. So I'm just going to start taking that away now. I mean, not on the round the head, just before the round the head. And start slide into this. Into this as well to force direction forwards as well. So we'll see the way the fringe is starting to sit up a little bit now with that wave in it. Right. So what we'll do is the crown and the length of the back, I'm going to start to reduce, but we're going to keep a bit of length in the crown as well. So I'm going to do this now. I'm going to work as though imagine we've got an orange, and we cut it in half, and we've got the segments of an orange, right? And this way we angle straight out, like so. Okay? And we cut it. What this is doing is starting to create our guide for the crown as well. In, straight out, take that length away. So all this crown will stay till the very end, so we'll have a nice bit of over direction, and then we'll be able to cut in the crown properly once it's done. Pull this back in, straight out, and take that length away. But we've kept length at the crown, you see? So everything's been over directed, so we've left all that length at the crown. There's the top, there's the back, and there's the crown, so we can work on that at the very end. So it's not going to stick up and move about. Got a slight double crown a little bit as well in all these hairs. Like a crown here, a little one, that's what to start there. So again, perfect for that because we're not cutting away the crown, we're keeping the crown in play. And what we do, we dry this all off now. So we'll put a bit of salt spray on this for the finished result, okay? Like so. Nozzle long because I want to dry this off. I'm going to work on the clippers. Start on the back and sides first, then work on the top. So if you can start to see now where the guide is falling, there's the guide for where our clippers is going to start to transition into the top. So we've got that shape that's sitting on the top now. You can see the fringe is sitting exactly where I wanted it to. Now it's dried, even though it looked longer when it was wet. Again, the beauty of starting like this and starting from the top is not only you've cut most of the haircut already, we can start to see how the look's going to look on Ollie. So why don't we just take that away? There's the top, done. That's how it's going to look. Look at all that texture, that movement, cut the crown, and look at all that movement for Ollie to play around with. Up, over, down, do whatever you want to do. Like that's the whole purpose of doing like a nice uniform cut, put a bit of texture in and just giving them versatility. But we can already see what this is going to look like when it's done. I mean, looks great to me. If we get rid of this, it looks great. I mean, I don't know about these bits, like, but you know, obviously they'll come down now. But you can already see how it's going to look on him. Really suits him. Looks really handsome with it, actually, to be honest, and looking at it from this angle. You know, it's just a nice way of setting yourself up to start to talk the client through the haircut as well. It's like, look, this is how it's going to look when it's finished. All we're going to do now is add a taper in. Right, so I'm going to do a 3 back and sides, taper it out. So I'm going to whip all this off, but I've got my guide here. Look, see, got my guide. So move the hair out the way, so you can see the hairline. 3.5. Work it up to here. So we're still keeping a nice bit of shadow on the hair, as you can see. So that taper is going to really show through with that there, okay? Now the reason I put it down to the half guard is because when you're taking loads of long hair off, it can sometimes get caught up in the clipper. But if you give yourself another, you've got the feeder through here, which feeds the hair in, then because you've put it back to a half, you're almost giving yourself an extra bit of feed for the hair to fall into it. So if I put it quite close up, it can get jammed. The hair can get jammed. Put it down, it doesn't. There we go, so I've done my 3.5 there. Now I can close the guard and do my true number 3 now. We've got rid of all that hair. It won't get jammed. It'll be a lot more comfortable for Ollie as well. And just saves me going over it and over it and over it. I drop into the clippers and go up.
It's angled. Unless you've got like a room full of mirrors. Yeah. For instance, when you do your beard, you double.
Like so. Close guard now, number 3. Like that. There we go. Now I'm going to put my taper line at the bottom. So you shut it off. That's going to give symmetry to the neckline as well, which is good. So I want it to be fairly high and I want it to look very quite, you know, like there is a proper taper in there. So I'm gonna work up to about here, like so. So taking away maybe about finger width of length from the hairline, like so. Now, I'm doing an ascending blend on the taper because I want the taper to be quite harsh, I want it to be noticeable. I don't want it to look quite natural, I want it to look like we've purposely put a taper in. Because I think about the first thing that Ollie said, you want a taper haircut. So obviously a taper is something that he really wants to show off. So I want to show that off for him. I'm going to start on the sideburn. I'm going to work this up and off into the sides as it is now. Right, really stretch that away, work that right into our transition area like that. So if we're just keeping a bit of shadow in there, just so it doesn't alter the face shape and accentuate the cheekbones too much. Great cheekbones, but the jawline is what we're looking for. The cheekbones will stand out anyway. Okay, like that up and off, and really stretch that blend out. So we're still showing a bit more of a harsher taper, but we're not just going super aggressive with the zero. Now I'm going to connect this in, clipper over comb now, and then I'm going to line the edges out. Then I'll finish off on the taper as well. I'll keep this in a single pile, mate, so you can have a little, take a picture of it if you want, mate. There we go, look at that. There we go. Start by blending this in now. I'm going to start from the back at the crown, comb this all out. This is where I'm going to start my blending to the top. So lifting this up, elevation to keep length at the top, and then just get closer and closer to the 3. Now I'd rather leave more length at the crown and fine tune that later than take the crown right off and not be able to put it back on. Because, you know, if I could put the hair back on, I think I'd be on a yacht. So unfortunately we can't. We're working like that. Now what we're doing here is by keeping that length at the crown, we're balancing out the profile. We're not accentuating the front, because he's going to have fringe. If I took that crown right away, it would just have fringe, and that would just be the focus. Whereas if you keep a little length through here, it just starts to balance everywhere else. Elevation, lift it right up, and then just connecting. Again, very close sections because we're going shorter. Bear that in mind, rule of thumb, smaller sections the shorter you go, wider sections the longer you're leaving it. Bring that down to the 3, like so. Elevation, so we're not removing too much length, we're just connecting. We do through the blend, through the transition here, is we can point cut into this to give a bit of texture as well, so it like kind of blends into the top. But for now, nice straight cut with the clipper, like we did on the top, just to create the connection. Everything else, the texturizing, everything else will be done at the end. I'm just working that into the blend point of the 3. We're not cutting into the fringe, like so. Working truly on the sides. So I'm just going to work on the edging of the haircut now. On the temples, to make this taper kind of pop a little bit more. Just not going to cut too far in, just enough that it adds a bit of detail and shows off the darker area here and the shorter area down, or the lighter area down by the sideburn. This comb goes to a 1 if you press hard enough, so this is just a nice little taper on above the ears to show the hairline. Just to expose that a bit more.
Like it's not. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds right.
And now we'll work on the neck taper now as well. We'll start with a 0.5 first. Again, I want this to be quite harsh and aggressive, so it really shows it off. So working the half up. And work through that lever to blend in the half to the 0.
So what's your weakness? You have it before.
Now, one guard, open, so it becomes a 1.5. And close the guard to the 1. Work that up into the 1.5. 1.5 guard. Just before a 2, lever down and open. Like a 1.75. And work that up and off, like so. Close the guard. This is a little bit longer than the 1.5 as a guard. It's a little bit longer. Now in between guards as well.
Yeah, I see that. Sometimes a lot of people say that when they're
Just using the lever just to refine everywhere. And then just a bit of clip over comb. Again, this comb goes down to a 1, so this is ideal. Use this just to blend up into our 3. Now what we'll do, refine everywhere else. So let's cut the crown in first. Pull this out into a horizontal section, and as we see, we've got that length that was left from before. So we just match it up to either side. Cut into it and cut into it, like so. Now I'm going to pick it right across the crown and just take that little point off because I know that's going to sit well. And there's the crown cut in. Now I'm going to do way through the top, make sure the length is sitting nice, point cut into anything that we need to, just thin it out a touch. Take any excess length off that we don't need. Front. Same again on here. Point cut into the corners. A little bit of length that may be left, we can get rid of as long as it's sitting nice. Coming into the front now.
So you've got 2
We'll do, start to break this up so point cut in to the blend.
7 brothers, I think.
Right out from the centre. And then to create a slightly more softer blend, point cut into the section like so. Bit of scissor over comb. And then let's just match this fringe in. Match there to there. And just cut this on angle just to point cut in. Same this side now as well. And just refine. Blend where it needs to. Last but not least, the crown. So head down slightly. I'm just going to work up into the crown. finally just on the fringe. Take it down a touch. And just break it to that little point there. Now finally just blast all the hair off, cool air, very heat. And then the moment of truth, do you like it? Happy?
I am very happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Now how would you like to wear it? On the top, do you want to wear it a little bit off your face, a little bit down, just quite textured?
Textured, really.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool, all right then. So I'm going to put a little bit of paste in this, all right? So roughly about this much. So paste, clays, creams, things like that are really good for your hair texture, okay? Probably a paste and a clay is probably the one I would suggest most. You've already got yourself a salt spray, you don't need to get another one of those. Get yourself a clay, paste, maybe even like a dry mud or something like that. Just anything that's quite sort of more matte finished, okay? Just to bring out that texture, okay? And work it all the way through your hands, through your fingers. It's like you're applying like a hand lotion, just don't put it on the back of the hands. Start at the crown, because everyone goes straight for the front. And that's just where all the product sits and it lies flat. Everyone ends up missing this bit here. So what you do, just through the back like that, just to get it in the crown, and then rub it in like a shampoo. So this is how you apply it. So this is application, this isn't styling, this is just purely application, okay? Get the product rubbed right in there, like so. And then you come to style it. So however messy, textured you want it to be, okay? I might give you loads of movements on the top and just bring that right out, okay? I think show your face shape off a little bit, have your fringe up and down, a bit like that, so it's a bit textured and a bit messy, and then just make sure everything sits in nicely to that as well. So can you see by adding the taper into the sides, we haven't gone too far in here, it's still got that nice little bit of levelness here. The jawline really stands out now, okay? Now when you are styling the top, just make sure you bring these little corners out a touch, so everything nice and square, the jawline sits straight in, really angled, all right? And that's it. So let me show you the back and sides as well, okay? So you'll see we've done a slightly more shallow taper on the sides for the face shape. And then the neck we've done quite a nice, sort of a more aggressive taper, okay? You'll be able to see it better from there. The taper's right out at the bottom, but the sides taper in nicely as well. So you've got all that head shape in there. Yeah. And there's the shape. So the pictures you showed me, it's very similar to the pictures. There we go. And then I'll cut in from there as well. Happy? Happy, very happy. Yeah, looks nice, man, doesn't it? Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Ollie, mate. Thank you very much. I'm sure there'll be a bit of a shock when you get home. It will be. And everyone sees you, but no, it looks nice. Can you see what you mean with the jawline, though? Can you see the way the jawline's more prominent now? Yeah? Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. So that's from the shape up here and not concave in the sides too much for the cheekbones. All right, man? Yeah, yeah. Thanks, buddy.